You need to find that ruthless, intuitive mentor, healer, spiritual person that you are working with to help you increase your intuitive abilities for your healing, for your growth. Because the deeper that you heal and process your trauma, your pain from this and past lives, then the easier it is to connect to spirit, your guides, your loved ones. The easier it is to connect to your intuitive abilities, the easier it is to connect to your past lives. And so I am an intuitive medium, Akashic past life and spiritual mentor. I use like DNA activation, shamanic healing. I'm attuned through shamanic healing. I'm a shamanic practitioner. I'm a Reiki master teacher, past lives, angelic healing, mediumship, intuitive, all of those things. But the reality is, I just blend all of my gifts and abilities. And as a and a life coach too, I guess I just kind of blend all of those things. And the reality is, ooh, that's weird. The reality is, you need to have a ruthless spiritual mentor, healer, intuitive, whoever you're working with, whether you're just working with them to clear some past lives, to get some clarity in your life, in your business, in your intuitive abilities. Um, you need to have that person be ruthless. And I'm going to say this because that is who I am and how I operate and what I do. It's never cruel or mean, but I call people out. I know when you're lying. I know when you say you're doing the work and you're not doing the work. I know when you say you're clearing, you're not clearing. I know when you say you trust and have faith, and I know what you are telling yourself. I know what others are telling you. So when I work with people, I know Spirit always tells me. Your guides tell me. I already know. Intuitively, my guides tell me it's this reality, and the reality is I use those internal truths that you're maybe not ready to face, you're not ready to talk about, you don't truly understand yourself. You don't know why, you're having a problem progressing, you don't know why you can't heal. The reality is you probably know a little bit, but you don't know the depths or the truths. Maybe it is some past life cords in this life cords and your trauma from this life. We learned to deal and survive our trauma from a very young age. Mine started at 2 or 3 years old. I learned to start processing, or I learned to start holding on to events and occurrences because I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't understand the emotional part. How do you release it? How do you talk about it? I didn't have the safety and security of somebody being there for me or supporting me or, protecting me, anything like that. So I learned at a very young age to internalize everything and just hold on to it because I didn't know what to do with it. So what I did at a very young age was I learned to just help other people, and I just learned to read other people, know what was going on with them, like get to their deepest, darkest secrets and truths. I always say I could sit next to a serial killer and they would tell me their entire story, not because I pry or I'm a gossipy Betty, but the reality is, I've just always been able to read people and understand people. I didn't understand that until I developed my intuitive gifts and abilities at 39 years old. Sorry, the blizzard yesterday, it's melting off. Um, but the reality is, holding on to whoever you're working with, if they're placating you, if they're giving you the light and fluffy, if they're, allowing you to continue on your yucky patterns and habits, whether it's this life, past lives, processing your trauma. You have to process your trauma to release it, to let it go. And if you don't know how to process your trauma, you just hold on to it. You internalize it. Sometimes we resort to substance abuse. We have our my issues with food started at like 11, 12 years old, eating disorders. Um, things like that for me have been an ongoing thing, and I had to learn to understand it, why I do it. But that was just part of my trauma and things like that. So the reality is whoever you choose to work with, whoever you want to work with, you need to be able to they need to be ruthless with you. They need to push you. They need to push you beyond your boundaries. They need to get you to truly understand, why are you holding on to this? Why are you truly not developing or enhancing your abilities or truly healing in your mind, your body, your soul, your energetic self? And one of my students messaged me the other day and she said, "Oh my God, you came into my dreams. There were some other people there. They were helping. That she had a negative entity attachment on her. She uses her dreams for her are very vivid because a lot of us, if we're in whatever stage of healing or processing we're at. A lot of us, I've had very vivid dreams from a very young age, very vivid, intense, disturbing, prolific, deja vu, premonition dreams from a very, very same young age, 2 or 3 years old. She is similar. She gets a lot of information, insights through dreams. And she messaged me the other day and she said, oh my God, there were some other people in my dreams. They were trying to help. They were just being all light and fluffy, all soft. And then I came into her dream and cleared that negative entity. We blocked it. We cleared it from her soul, her mind, her body, her past lives, her this life, her current life, her future lifetimes. And I just came in, no nonsense, and did it. And that is the level of trust you should have with whoever you're working with. You know, I never intentionally go into somebody's space. If somebody's asking me questions, I already know, but I never intentionally go into people's space. But as one of my students, um, she's always somebody that's always been open to me just helping whenever. And I don't even consciously always do it. That was through dream state. So I helped her through her dream state. But the reality is that is what level you need of trust with whoever you are working with. It doesn't matter if it's business, if it's life, developing your intuitive abilities, your healing abilities in your own healing. I always help people through their own internal healing, this life and past lives, but it's really about your intuitive development and your growth, connection to your spirit guides, your mediumship, whatever you call it. I call myself an intuitive medium. The reality is I'm an intuitive medium, a psychic, whatever, all of those things, all of those words. Psychic will get you blacklisted fast on social media. So I don't really say psychic, but I know what you know. I feel what you feel. I hear what you hear. I see what you see, what you're telling yourself, what other people are telling you. The reality is, um, I've always had that ability. I just didn't understand it until I was 39. But now that I understand it, I fully use it and develop it. And it was part of my true soul healing process. I had been through therapy, through medication, through various things that never worked for me. And at 39, I um, finally found what worked for me. It was true. It was Reiki. I became attuned to Reiki for chronic pain, and I truly learned to calm my mind. I do have ADHD, anxiety, panic, depression that I've struggled with my entire life. And when I started Reiki, I learned to connect to my body, to calm my mind. And it took a lot of fucking practice and it took a lot of work. And but what it really did was change my life. And that's why I do the work that I do now, because connecting to spirit, knowing spirit is there, helping, spirit's always been there. I just didn't understand it. But now that I understand it, but that's where you need to be with that whoever you work with. They need to be able to call you out on your shit. If you tell me you're doing this and that, and spirit's like, they're not. So I push you on that. Why are you not? What do you need to do different? And the reality is I can help you clear things, clear this lives and past lives. We can address it. We can help you heal. We can do a lot of things in session. But the reality is whether it's through a single session, my soul alchemy session, you leave with that with a plan. This is what you need to do going forward to connect to wherever your goals are, to heal, to continue this whatever. If you work with me through my ascension one-to-one private mentoring, that is 6 months or 12 months. It's about your intuitive growth. What do we need to heal? What mind fuckery do we need to get rid of? Because our mind fuckery is what keeps pretty much our life on hold. Our mind fuckery, our anxiety, our panic, our trauma, all of those things coupled into one is your mind fuckery. So where are you at with your mind fuckery? Is it controlling you? Is it overwhelming you? Are you allowing it to be in control? Is it other people? Is it all of those life things? We address that mind fuckery. We address your goals. Where do you want to be? Is it your spiritual business, enhancing your spiritual business, just developing your intuitive abilities for yourself? Like I only did all, like I learned past life work, shamanic. I'm a shamanic practitioner, Reiki master teacher, past life, angelic. There's all of these mediumship things that I got certified in on top of my bachelor's degree, my associate's degree. I got all of those things for myself, for my healing. And then that was when I decided that it's my purpose. So that's why I help other people with it. But you can use your gifts and abilities for whatever, as long as it's for good. You as a human can do whatever the fuck you want to do. But that karma bus does come back around. If you use that, ooh, somebody that is watching is severely having some anxiety attack because it's hitting me. Or a lot of someone's severe anxiety. I don't have my anxiety, my panic, my depression, things like that. They're not on an overwhelming. I get them. They do hit me. It's not like it ever leaves who you are, but they're no longer in control of me. So when it hits me, I know that somebody that's watching or will be watching, I'm taking that on. So I'm trying to clear that because it's hitting like a motherfucker. The reality is your anxiety, panic, depression do not have to be in control. There's some simple things you can do every day so that it's not, I need to let that go because whoever it is fucking, uh, it's hitting. So if you're watching this, you can just allow yourself to be cleared. Allow that allow that anxiety to release. But the reality is, whoever you work with, they need to be pushing you. You need to be processing your trauma, your pain, all of those things. They need to be relentless in how they help you, not placating you and telling you to be okay and soft and fluffy and light and unicorns and all the rainbow and unicorn bullshit. The reality is whoever you choose to work with, whether it's just for a session to help you to heal, to clear, whether it's for your growth or your development, whatever it is, you need to be able to hear the realities and the truths, and you need to be able to face it and do something with it. They need to be able to present it to you in a way that is progressive and helpful. So don't just stand for status quo. Just because there's people with a lot of followers, they charge a lot of money for their program, so it should be good. Think of like the Tony Robbins, or there's a lot of spiritual people, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, that have a lot of following. They make a lot of money, but the reality is they don't provide a lot of actual results, individual results. So if you don't fit into their box, then the reality is you're fucked, because you just wasted a lot of time, money, and energy for no growth, no healing, no expansion. So really, really dive into who you're working with. Have an individual session. I have soul alchemy sessions. Have an individual session. What did you really get out of it? How long have you followed them? Like, what are people really saying about them? A lot of times those big famous people will use the really big influencer people, they're in the same circles, they do all the things, they have all these great reviews, but the reality is they do not give individual, you know, growth and healing to people. They kind of fit you into that group mentality, and if you make it work, you make it work, or they just blame the person that it didn't work for, that they didn't do the work. So you really need to lean into that who that person really is. If you message them, is it their VA messaging you back? How long does it take them? All of those things. So it's up to you. It's up to you to truly heal, to decide to heal, to really put in the time, money, and energy to heal. Um, and it is not an easy process. It is not, but it is monumentally shifting when you do. So please do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions. Like I said, I offer an individual soul alchemy session. I have private mentoring that is 6 months, 12 months, to develop your intuitive abilities, to truly heal the process, to, my individual private mentoring is really about where you're at. What do you want to be attuned to? Reiki? Do you want to go through DNA activations? Do you want to learn past life, how to work in your past lives, to clear them, to heal them? I offer a lot of things in my private mentoring, but it's really about where you're at. What do you want to be doing? The healing. If you just want somebody like me as on a monthly retainer, just to help you clear and heal, whatever it is, I offer those things as well. Just don't hesitate to reach out. I do have a membership, and we have a private call every other week where we talk about your spiritual business, your life, where you're at, what you're doing. Sometimes we do a clearing, sometimes we do a clearing and activation. Um, but then those are the things that I actively offer all the time. And I do offer a past life program as well. So if you want to learn to work in your past lives, to clear your past lives. And then there's another part of that where if you want to do it for your spiritual business, for your clients, there's another kind of part two to my past life program. So it's still clearing. So as soon as it's done, I'll hop off. But please do not hesitate to reach out. Make sure you follow me, turn on notifications. I'll try to go live more often, but there's been just a lot of life happening. But I do a lot of different things. So marketing, business development, those are things that I do as well. I try to do it more for spiritual people, but I have a lot of pendulums that I channel and custom create, paintings, a lot of different things. I have an Etsy shop, I have my website. But you're welcome to just reach out, to comment, to ask questions, those things. So otherwise, if you're in Iowa like me, hopefully your blizzard is melting off. If you're in a nice place, hopefully you get some sunshine today. But otherwise, hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later.